Got it, yes.
Ready
Good.
to mosey down to the next car?
You got it, partner.
Onwards. A library.
Hang in there. Oh, you can get a little chow in the poster.
Oh my
Get
god.
'em.
My goodness. All this stuff's getting heavy. I'll dump what I don't need. Everyone's favorite journalist reporter, Amy Rose, is hot on the scoop. I'm heading out. You've been fabulously helpful.
Already? Before you go, Espio and I wanted to give you your presents.
My presents? You both too sweet. Thank you. Vector. It seems we have more guests. Amy, there you are. Found any leads yet? Oh, the detective pair needs help from the birthday girl. She knows everyone's allowed to be sassy on their birthday. This tips is just too juicy to ignore. I'll see you all around. Don't worry, Sonic. I'll be the one to avenge you, and quick.
But how are you gonna leave? The door to the next car is locked.
Oh, you doubt the birthday girl. Birthday girl has a master key. Right. The birthday girl gets the birthday key.
Of course, it's birthday privilege.
I'll solve this case before anyone else. Bye! Amy may be hasty, but she's thorough.
Now what are you two doing? Looking mighty suspicious, I say.
I'm the detective, so I can't be the murderer. I'm, just here to ask if anyone's hungry?
Starved! I'd kill for a chicken parmesan right about now.
Maybe kill isn't the right language to use right now?
I'm Vector the Butcher. I'm licensed to handle raw meat.
I'm Espio, the poet. Poetry, a resonant message from poet to reader meant to challenge our delicate perspectives with the most romantic prose. Can I hear some? Sure. Dewdrops in the spring. Can you hear me sing? La la la, dee dee dee.
Got it?
I've more if you like. Cherry blossoms in the spring. I am satisfied for now, thanks. Vapin and I are here to establish both of your alibis. Can you walk us through what happened after Amy had everyone leave the dining car?
Oh, sure, it's simple. We just explained this to Amy, actually. When we were all sent off, Rouge, Blaze, Shadow, and Sonic all passed through this library car, where Amy told me and Espio to stay.
I promptly picked a book off the shelf and made myself comfortable. Vector got bored, so he left to see what Knuckles was up to in the saloon car. You were left by yourself. Where was Rogue? We happened to see her lipstick stain on a cup at the saloon car. Rogue came over to the library car, seemingly looking for something, and she went to search the saloon car. She came back shortly after. We heard her shout, "No way!" at the brochure or stand over there. She left back to the casino car before Shadow came through and locked the door. Wonder what she found. She's obviously been on the hunt for something. After Rogue left, she had to walk through the casino car, then entered the library car and locked the door behind him. More importantly, why has Shadow been locking doors?
Shadow walked through the library car to the saloon car, where Knuckles and I were playing games. He insisted on showing us up at Super Monkey Ball. I got so engrossed by the rolling monkey action, I hardly noticed when Shadow left the saloon car. I guess he walked through the library car to the casino car again, locking the door behind him. Then returned to the lounge car where he was meant to be stationed.
So Espio was left alone. When Vector came back, we realized Knuckles locked the door to the saloon car where we were stuck in the library car.
That's when the train sped up. We were worried about the bookshelves falling on us, but we got through it all right.
How did Sonic end up all the way back at the dining car without anybody noticing? We sat trapped here until Amy arrived asking questions. She's the one that told us someone murdered Sonic. And yeah, that's all that happened. With all these locked doors, it seems Vector Espio couldn't have left the library car or the saloon car. Thank you both for your cooperation. We're just gonna peek around when we return with any questions.
If you return with any meat, I'll chop it up for you.
And if you like to be serenaded with a poem, I've got you covered too. Thanks, guys. Their alibi seems solid enough, but we should still search for clues. What we're looking for is any evidence that proves what they're saying is true. We need to confirm Vector's reasons for leaving his post and determine if Espio is actually in the library car reading. That's all it has, but we can do it. Let's get to the bottom of this, Tails. Absolutely. Hang in there. Chow hangs precariously from a tree branch. The large text below reads, "Hang in there." Wow, I really needed this. Really. God, what have you seen, Tab? This little Chow's hanging in there, refusing to use his wings to fly to safety because choosing the hard way is often the most rewarding. It's beautiful. If this Chow can stick to his principles and find strength, then I can too. There's no way there was that much thought put into this poster. Right? Mm-hmm. Ooh, brochures. There are travel destination ideas here like amusement parks, caverns, hotels, restaurants. Oh, baby, look at this. There's a couple maps here. Seems to be a map of the library card. The books are categorized by genre, which are listed here. Love a good overhead map. Let's take it. Should we take this brochure about a cave too? Look, there's stalactites. Leave it. Yeah, that's fair. Nobody shares you have a fondness for caves?
Don't worry about it.
Bookies. So many books on the ground. I wish we had time to pick them all up. I sadly have no interest in picking up these books for you. A lot of these were knocked out by the train speeding up. But Rogue pulled a lot of these out too, searching for something. What reckless behavior. I feel sorry for the poor books. Spines are creasing. They're opening too far. It really does feel empathy for everything. The trash bin. Trash bin. The trash bin! Something's always in the trash. Let's check there. I hate to say it, but there's nothing here. I really thought there'd be something there. The vaping, are you sad there was nothing in the trash bin? Yes, very. No, I'm alright. I'm sure there'll be something hidden in the next trash bin we'll find.
You really think so?
Yeah, we just gotta stay optimistic.
Those trash bins always have their secrets.
Vaping, you're pretty unconventional, but I like it. So it's supposed to be a compliment? Book. This is bright red book. Oh, yuck. This reeks of evil scientist Dr. Eggman. Yep, this is Dr. Eggman's autobiography and recipe book. What? Who cares? I wouldn't trust any book he's written. It's weird this is even here. People just appreciate an omelet? You may not be wrong. Globe of our marvelous planet. I haven't traveled around much. The islands are fun and all, but I'd love to visit some of the countries. It's a lot of fun, honestly. Plenty of wonderful people and shops. The food can't be beat either. Sounds perfect for a vacation. The conductor is talking about Spagania. If you've ever been there. I have, actually. If you're ever visiting, be sure to stop at the university and say hi to Professor Pickle. He'll tell you everything about the area and makes one scrumptious sandwich. Keep that in mind. Thanks, Tails. Yeah, they've been everywhere. Let's just take a pause and sit for a second. These chairs are very comfy, so plush, puts me right in the mood to read. Does it, child? Makes me want to take a nap personally. Yep. Same, bro. Yep. Same. In fact, maybe I'll rest my eyes a bit. Maybe no, don't fall asleep. There's been a murder. I had a ring for every time a murder ruined my nap time.
How many murders have
I've waited, whoa, yeah, right. Right. Oh, poor thing. That arm is really struggling cleaning up this car. To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up all this mess either. Let's just leave it alone to do its thing. Yeah, probably for the best. Chaos Cola. It's a book club.
Book of the month. Go on, gal.
Just a bookshop. Wow! I wish I could stop and look at all these books. Sonic needs me. No time to rest. Alright, let's move on then. Well, I mean, a little peek wouldn't hurt. Scavenging through all the book titles excitedly. He's like a kid in a candy shop, in this case a genius in a train library. That's odd. I know some books have fallen out on the floor and everything, but every book on the shelves is in alphabetical order but this one. It's the user guide to the Mirage Express, the train we're currently on.
Yes.
You think someone found it on the ground and put it back? Maybe, but it is interesting. Let's make a note of this. Guess the only thing that's left is the door, yeah. Shadow supposedly walked through the library car before going into the saloon car. When Shadow left the library car, he locked this door on his way out. There's gotta be a reason he's doing this. Should we make a note of it? Yeah, I do believe we should. I think we found enough clues. Let's go interrogate Vector and Espio to find out what really happened.
Did you bring me any meat to chop?
Where will we find meat in the library, man?
A butcher, but they confiscated my meat cleaver before getting on the train.
You actually tried to bring a knife on the train?
I'm a man of authenticity, Tails. Without a knife, I'm just a chef in a ketchup-stained apron, not a butcher.
I think if you had a knife on you, we'd definitely think you were the murderer.
But what if I hid the knife?
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of this line of thought. Time to start the interrogation.
So, the two of you don't believe us, eh?
It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Vapin and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play games with Knuckles, and if Espio really was reading in the library car. Vector, we'll start with you. Why did you leave the library car to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to present evidence if need.
Oh, easy. That's easy. I got bored. What?
Wasn't entertaining him enough, it seems. Vector enjoys being social.
Plus, we were instructed to mingle. I remembered the arcade machine in the saloon car, so I figured I'd go check it out.
Seems to line up with the information we gathered from Knuckles. Then that brings our attention to you, Espio. Rogue entered the library car, found something, then left. You said you immediately started reading, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library car?
Of course he was. Once Espio starts reading, he doesn't stop till it's done. I've seen it happen.
It must have been a good read. What was the book?
Espio doesn't owe that detective. Let the man live. What if it was embarrassing?
What kind of things do you think I read? Do you want to talk? I have a hunch on what the book might be. Vaping, could you help me out? What book was that? I can't remember what book it was. What book was it? What book was it?
This one?
Ah!
A manual? You think Espio was reading instructions? What argument could you possibly have to support this? Oh, God.
Bring out that dream gear. Oh, it's
God.
green and purple. Avoid the ninjutsu stars.
Ah, fudge.
Well, that one was easier than the other ones.
Yes, please.
Get that light bulb. There are books scattered around the floor, sure, but the remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order, all except this manual, meaning someone at the very least picked the manual up and put it back in the incorrect place. This lack of attention to detail isn't normally like you, Espio.
Hey now, I won't have you insulting my pal like this.
Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself.
Apologies, Espio.
But you're in a poet. Friendship can form anywhere. That is indeed the book I was reading, the Mirage Express Manual. Trains are cool. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual. Vapin, if you don't mind. Could you ask Espio some questions about the manual? Just flip to the page and ask away. What page should I quiz him on? I would say 14 if he was reading it, but then I would say 362 if you read all of it. Or if he was in the middle. Random it. Stop! Page 362. Okay, what efficient and extremely accurate technology was installed to assist in keeping the train spotless? Wow.
I knew it.
Robotic arms. During events, they could perform a variety of tests and are responsible for cleaning up trash and messes afterwards. I remember the conductor saying the train can clean itself. So I have a feeling the train company just didn't want to hire any janitors. Wow. The robotic arms could also detect weapons or explosives being brought onto the train, ensuring passenger safety. Seems like Espio aced that question, Vapin. Hit him with another one. Stop. What is the Mirage Express's cancellation policy? No refunds and you will be charged a no-show fee. This does not apply if you're over the age of 65. Gee, the person who made this rule must have been over 65. Last one, Vapin. Let's see if Espio can get 3 for 3. Gotcha. Oh. What was implemented to support the conductor duties and ease general train obligations? An intelligent data processing system. It works in tandem with the conductor to ensure smooth travel for guests. Remember, this train has an autopilot, but it can't access its full suite of compatibilities without the conductor present. Capabilities. Compatibilities? What am I saying? Did I pass your little test? No! Yes! Totally! It's wild you were able to retain all this information so quickly. A poet's brain is often surprising. Don't know if I'd be bragging about that. You've clearly read the manual. Those answers feel far too specific to be guesses.
And you both had the nerve to question my buddy like that. Don't we want to be supporting folks who read?
You have to admit, though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if true. But he answered all my questions, so that's very impressive. No, I understand everyone's cautious attitudes. Vector was the only one to see me reading, after all. My alibi is hard to substantiate, despite being the truth. Well, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we can... Espio, is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading? Yes, that's correct. Problem? Frankly, I don't believe that can be true. And we have evidence to back it up. Vapin! You could do it! Give him the evidence! Shadow, right? Because Shadow has gone back and forth. Shadow's block? Please pray tell what this has to do with anything. Right, Vapin, let's get our argument together! Dream gear! Good. Oh my lord, that had me. Had me going.
Woo!
Shadow walked through the library car to get to the saloon car where he set the original high score on the arcade machine.
Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't the high score for long. Crocs are natural gamers.
Espio said he saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentions that Vector came back. When Shadow left Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car, Espio was fully seated reading his book for a good while at this point. We know Shadow had to walk back through the library car when he left the saloon car, so there's absolutely no way Shadow and Espio didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip. It was a simple slip-up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow. You're telling me the sound of doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up? Well, you see, I can sense Espio's desperation here, defending the argument that he was reading the entire time isn't easy. So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock all the doors, then at that moment were you really in the library car at all? But how would Espio leave? Shadow locked all the doors and no one saw Espio in the saloon car. It's a mystery, my dear Vape, and one that I would love for Espio to solve. Gotta believe me, that cool demeanor is vanishing. I was so involved with my book I didn't notice Shadow pass back through the library car. Honest. When Vector returned, he even had to tap me on the shoulder to get my attention.
Yeah, I think I remember doing that.
I must avenge my friend's death, so I'll ask you again, Espio. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car? I didn't. That doesn't seem right to me. Tails definitely feels like he's onto something, but I don't see it. You blind man? Was Espio simply reading, or did he somehow vanish to not notice Shadow's return to the library car? What should I do? That's a tough one. We gotta help our detective. Can't interrupt Tails when he's onto something. I'll let him continue this line of questioning, and... Oh, here we go.
Vapor, my favorite and beloved employee, please.
It's getting worse.
Aboard this train. They must be taken care of. If you fail, the lawsuits will be fortress. Don't allow such an old, feeble soul to get sued.
I have to make sure our guests are taken care of. I have to speak up. Tails, we have a piece of evidence that can answer all of our problems. All right, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and Espio couldn't have seen one another? Sure. All right, now let's get my thoughts in order. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Get that light bulb. The library Oh, I see. See, the exits, they're right across from one another. A straight path. If Shadow walked down the straight path, there's a way Espio and Shadow couldn't have seen each other. It looks like you'll have to point out where exactly on the map you mean. Where could Espio have been for Shadow not to see him? Yeah, it is. So that one. Interesting. That's where I was sitting, reading my book.
I can second this. When I returned from the saloon car, Espio was in the same spot.
That confirms it then. You see, Shadow and Espio couldn't have seen one another from the spot, because a bookcase is in the way. There's no way Shadow could have seen Espio, or vice versa. It makes a lot of sense why you never mentioned Shadow's return, Espio. There's just no way you could have seen him. I apologize for losing my cool back there. I felt like I was grasping despite telling the truth, but I'm glad you all believe me now. Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further point. Thank you both for answering all of our questions. We did it! Another pair of alibis validated. Too many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything straightened itself out in the end.
Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy.
Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rogue, and especially Shadow. Oh, it seems the door to the next car is open. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier. Then that's our cue to leave. See you later, Vector and Espio.
Give 'em heck. And if you need any meat chopped up, say the word.
Keep my poetry sharp for you both. A murderer is on the loose, while doors keep getting locked. Tick, tick, tock goes the clock, while our heroes are in the caboose. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this. Come on, Vaven, let's see what's next. You sure you don't want to stay and look at all the great books a little longer? Okay, the investigation continues. He is so bipolar, it's ridiculous.